to the Overwatch Oasis League. Just ran into a little bit of a technical issue. Those of you tuning into Tier 2 and tuning into the stream know that last night's broadcast was on my own personal Twitch, so this is nothing new. So just bear with us for a second. Just make sure, just trying to make sure we have all the lineup set up and make sure we're not absolutely we're not absolutely destroying this cast. So just give us a second to make sure everything works. Apologies for the delay and the mess up. So like I said earlier, Eldritch coming in onto that tank line to partner Beezer. Beezer, of course, having a wonderful performance as well, playing Arisa, playing that Reinhardt, that main tank getting so much work done, as Eldritch most likely coming in to play the off tank again. I only remember the name. I don't quite remember what they were playing last time I casted them. Fat Cat and Yellow, I believe, are staying here on that support lineup, if I'm not completely incorrect, as a boosted Takushu himself is forced to take a seat on the bench, as that high SR but low mechanic playstyle just really isn't working for basically throwing right now. So now that the stream is cooperating, it looks like we're running into some problems. Okay, no, we're back. Some of the casting team is back. Maybe we're casting for both accounts. I don't know what's happening. I'm just gonna keep talking. But yeah, no, that first fight I think rounding out really well here on Temple, I believe. That small point obviously was a pain for our camera crew to make sure we could capture all the action, but the Ryan Zarya matchup coming extremely close. As BT and Rogue Knights both showing that they're not afraid to brawl, not afraid to get stuck in. But when it came to running the Arisa, when it came to running the Hog, the Pharah, Rogue Knights just outclassing, basically throwing here. So just give us a second. We have readies coming up from both team. Our casting crew just making sure everything's clean and ready to go. Just dealing with some issues here, chat. Thanks for switching over to this other stream, though. How we doing, folks? What got planned for 4th of July, chat? No, better question. How did our placements go today, chat? That's the real question. I'll tell you right now, I lost 100 SR. I won 3 and lost 2, and I still lost like 85 SR. That was a tough one. Daddy Jeff just wasn't a fan of my tank play today. If you need one for Apex, bro, Nivas, hit me up. Charles 7 Tank. I don't have a lot of friends that play Apex, so I don't play a lot of ranked, but when I do, we go deep, boys. Let's go. Yes, Nivas, hit me up. Let's go. Alright, jumping into Eichenwald now. Point one of Eichenwald, I think personally, a personal hell for me as a main tank player, as ripe for spam damage. This choke is pretty rough time. I think that it's worth remembering that there was a time where this choke didn't have that right path through the building, so it's even more of a pain to try to make your way through it.
Ready for battle.
So coming in on the side of basically throwing, that's going to be defending here. We have the Rein Zarya continue to be run. I think basically throwing, recognizing that when playing that Rein Zarya, they're able to match Rogue Knight step to step to step. So this is going to be a really interesting matchup to watch. Bobsot on playing the Ashe, just Gamer's Blood, like we said. The Junkrat, the spam meta is well and truly alive, folks. Cypher and Siren here on the Mercy Moira as well. If you thought a Junkrat Ashe was enough spam, wait till one of them is damage boosted. Eldritch and a Beezer over here, as expected, running that Rein Zarya as well, especially on the attack. Rincewash will be very curious to see what Rincewash is able to do on the Mei, as last round it's already chunked down to half health via Junkrat Chav over here. Gamer's Blood takes on the last round. Oh my goodness. So Yellow goes down as well as Gamer's Blood is laying down what is frankly an obscene amount of damage here as the Junkrat. Gamer's Blood already 77% to a Riptire, and the snowball potential of a Riptire ult advantage is so huge. So the wall does come out. Not quite sure who that's blocking off. I think it just made Bubsud's life a little bit more difficult. The tire comes out, doesn't quite fit anybody as Gamers Blood ends up trading their life for it. The Reinhardt's getting a kill up. He's up here as Twinkie takes out Yellow. Last round takes out Mugency, but trades their life for it as Twinkie goes down as well. Rogue Knights brute forcing their way onto point, getting kills, but suffering casualties on the way. But you have the ult advantage, sorry, not the ult advantage, you have the spawn advantage over here as the attacking team. So trades here and the chaotic fights here are always to your advantage.
Objective lost. Stop the payload.
Accelerate!
Coming onto point B onto Streets phase, I think is where we're going to see last round and Bubsud really come to life here on the Ashe. The high ground and the long sightlines here, really begging for a hit scan to absolutely dominate these sightlines. Bubsud in the last round 1% apart on that ultimate charge. So kind of a flat out race as you can get Bob first. Now the Shatter comes out, Eldritch lays it down, finds one as Twinkie answers as well, finds one as well, but ends up getting their most of it blocked and trades their life for it. Eldritch gets chunked down very low here, but the healing is there as the payload continues to move forward. Twinkie over here switching on to that Orisa. Once again, when they played the Orisa on Nepal, they were dominated, so it's very, very interesting to see Twinkie back themselves to go again on this Orisa. We have Last Round taking a very wonderful high ground over here. Last Round and Bubsud. Bubsud pulling ahead now, but still both very, very similar ult charges as when it comes to that, trying to get that Bob online. So Rinchwash goes forward, uses the cryo just to take a very aggressive position. Not something that we have seen a lot, but icing out that right spawn over here to make sure nobody can come out here and touch and help let it reset as Twinkie is isolated and it's taken down by that Reinhardt. That's a, oh my goodness, an actually forehead 8D chest play here for Rinchwash, taking an extremely aggressive position, forcing Twinkie to back up a little bit there, and then throwing out the Blizzard, making sure nobody can touch. 动住不许走 is absolutely correct. Beezer over here and Toaster, both with grabs online here though, could be the turning point of this push as we move into Castle here. Bubsud switching off to Ashe, recognizing that probably Ashe is not the best pick here on defense. Last round staying on that pick, hoping that Ashe will be able to help them brute force their way onto the point. Twinkie punishing Rinchwash for their attention this time. The grab comes out, counter grab is there as well. Eldritch finds a double with that hammer as Last round takes down Mugency, Cypher, Badcast, and Last round finding one apiece as well right after that. That's absolutely massive. You lose Rinchwash there early on, you think you're going to lose that fight. That is incorrect because you have a grab online. Now the Bob is there, nobody's able to touch. That is absolutely massive. Beezer with the grab, the counter grab from Doster coming out as well, but the swinging coming out from Eldritch, that's a phenomenal play on the side of Rogue Knights. A fight that they really had no right to win, if I'm being totally honest, right? You lose one, both of you have grabs, the counter grabs come out, and you assume when both teams are grabbed almost directly on top of each other, whichever team has more players, has more damage, is going to win the fight. But shows what I know, shows why I'm stuck in gold. What a fight coming out from Rogue Knights over here as they're able to clutch that out. Because once you get health there, that's going to be a painful push forward as the spawn advantage is firmly on the side of the defenders. But Rogue Knights here storming to a 4-minute and 27-second time advantage.
Ready for battle.
So on the attack, we have Toaster sticking on that Roadhog. Then we saw them switch to right at the end of the defense over there as Gamer's Blood releases his inner weeb and really embraces the Genji over here. The Genji buffs, of course, make him so very dangerous. No longer just viable for the Dragon Blade. A damage boosted Genji's kind of viable in a brawl actually, which is terrifying to say. Especially as Eldritch is the only cleave damage you're able to deal with that. So we'll be curious to see Rogue Knights and if they have to make any switches to adjust to the Genji. Now we see Gamer's Blood over here taking a very aggressive position here on the high ground as they look to flank onto the left side, disrupt that backline, shurikens in hand. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Gamer's Blood takes a hammer to the face but manages to stay alive as Eldritch takes down the last round. A very healthy beginning to this fight here on the side of basically throwing. Eldritch here chunked down extremely low, forced to take a very conservative position as Gamer's Blood Genji refuses to let him get out alive. Eldritch eventually taking down Twinkie as Bump takes out Beezer as well. The tire comes out, doesn't find anybody. Yes, it does. That is a double. Rincewash able to charge up the Junkrat Riptire so very quickly as Eldritch forces Gamer's Blood to eat a Fire Strike to the face. No amount of cybernetics is going to protect you from that, Weeb. Mugency and Toaster both going down, as well as Beezer picks up a kill. Bubs are forced to use that Ice Wall just to buy their team a little bit of extra time and not get snowballed, not get staggered here. As what opened up to be a very healthy fight ended up swinging back into the favor of Rogue Knights. Where have we seen that before? An Icon Wall. Gamer's Blood though, with the Dragon Blade online, and it's not quite a nano boost, but a Valkyrie damage boost could still be absolutely massive to keep Gamer's Blood alive through this, what is sure to be a very, very aggressive Dragon Blade. As if there's any other kind of Dragon Blade. Sorry, chat. Ooh, Toaster finds a sneaky little hook onto that Lucio. Yellow does go down as well. So the blade comes out, the beat is there as well. A lot of us being invested as well. Bumsa drops the Blizzard as well. Maybe an overinvestment as you're already finding 2 kills. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Gamer's Blood and Eldritch takes out 1 apiece. Oh my goodness, Bumsa with the whole hog as well. The only thing that hasn't been committed here is Twinkie's Earth Shatter. But Toaster is taking down. Gamer's Blood takes down Rincewash though. And it does look like cleanup duty here. It is just a mercy. Fat Cat staying alive longer than you expect here. So many triangles being pressed here. I don't know if I agree with that investment. I understand that they're, pressed for a timing. They want to push forward, but with the Dragon Blade Valk really in a lot of scenarios should be enough to win you that fight, especially if you bait the hook out from Toaster at first. Gamer's Blood taking down early though. Once again, another ultimate that I'm not super sure about the usage of, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Then we can hear last round on this high ground just firing away, doing their best to deny any free space that they're able to take. But, oh my goodness, Toaster's so deep in the backline there. Gets the hook out onto Fat Cat, but Fat Cat just managed to get out alive. I don't know if they're aware, maybe they're not communicating. Oh my goodness, the shatter comes out, but the counter grab is there. Is the follow-up with there? Yes. Gamer's Blood and Twinkie both going down. Fat Cat goes down as well. But, and so does Rincewash. Uh-oh, you're a 4-on-4 fight, and you're missing a Mercy, so there's no resurrections this time. Toaster goes down as well to Beezer, though, as last round is left free to fire in that back line, and Bubsat is forced to back up.
Science will reveal the truth.
A little bit of an explanation of why we saw a quote-unquote overinvestment there. Bubsat does switch off the Mei, so could be a very, very good explanation to why as to why they committed the Blizzard there. Bubsat wins the Ashe duel though. That could be the opening pick that basically throwing need to push forward.
This will heal you.
So Eldritch over here coming out. Oh my goodness, if you're Reinhardt, you can't jump in the air before you shatter, buddy. So Twinkie is there and ready and waiting with the barrier, but Twinkie is trapped. Oh my goodness, that shield takes an absolute pounding as the tire comes down as well. Eldritch and Yellow both going down though as Twinkie is traded up. Both teams without their Reinhardt, so Beezer left here to do a lot of heavy lifting to create as much space as they can, and the space they create is in spawn as Lady of Siren gets the kill onto that Zarya. Bubsat Toaster finding 1 apiece as well as basically throwing are able to march forward here onto castles. So the pop comes out over here as Twinkie's counter charge keeps Eldritch from able to touch. Oh my goodness, the shatter here is cancelled. A ballsy charge coming from Eldritch as the sound barrier is committed. A retake here right at the end of the point, 4 meters away from castle. That is absolutely massive because then basically Rogue Knight just chunked this down to a 90-second fight here where the respawn advantage is absolutely huge. Of course you can go through the castle section, but then you're risking yourself to eat a lot of spam damage as you come through a very, very narrow castle section. That's absolutely massive. If I'm being honest, I did not expect Rogue Knights to come out here and contest a very decisive use of ultimates here as the I believe the sound barrier is committed. Another coalescence is committed as well, just to keep everybody alive. Very defensive coalescence, very early coalescence, maybe just to buy them a little bit of space, a little bit of time. Mugency Cypher taken down early, last round finding a couple kills here on the Mei. Cryo freezing in a very awkward position as Twinkie goes in very deep and gets frozen out. That's gotta hurt. Oh my god, things you love to see, this is one of them. The charge comes out as Toaster is taken out, perfectly timed Mei wall as well. The Shatter committed just to make sure everybody dies and they don't get a clean reset here. Gamer's Blood forced to commit seppuku here as they do one last reset. Now the Blade and the Bob is online. The chaos there might just be enough to help Lady of Siren earn that sound barrier to make things work. Over here, no ults online except for Beezer's grab. Not a very commonly used, but very effective. That grabs a really, really good counter to a Dragon Blade, but Beezer is hooked out early, forced to use the bubble. So the grab is used aggressively and early. The beat is there to counter it, just like I said. The Bob comes out, Bubson finds one, Toaster finds another, Gamer's Blood makes it a 3. Bubson, a double coming out from the bot, that's absolutely massive. Just as I was saying, a very decisive use of ults on the side of Rogue Knights, an equally decisive use of basically throwing. They play it slow, they play it safe. Lady of Siren charges up the sound barrier. As soon as that's ready, Eldritch shatters. Lady of Siren dodges it, I believe. Oh, sorry, I'm completely incorrect. Beezer grabs, Lady of Siren drops the beat, and then Bubza commits the Bob before Gamer's Blood, just to make sure everything's safe, goes in with the Dragon Blade as well. Eldritch here very close to a Shatter, as is Twinkie over here. This Shatter could be the thing to crack this point open. Now, of course, after the great defense on point B, basically throwing now unable to match Rogue Knight's time, but they're definitely able to match the result. The Shatter comes out, finds 2, but doesn't find the Mei. Crucially, don't just push Izo is right yet again, as a lot of your first are over here. Toaster and Gamer's Blood finally kill a Pisa, so the push is still alive. Ooh, the hook comes out into a fat guy over here. Excellent work on Toaster over here. Uh-oh. Rincewash over here hits us with the Death Blossom, but not before Toaster manages to triangle, and that whole hog pushes everybody out of the way. Now, last round over here, Cryo Frozen on point over here. Eldritch pushing forward. Earth Shatter ready to go, but they're just hard shielding, trying to keep their whole team alive. The two Rhines countercharging each other. Tap Nitchel. Eldritch is pulled into the backline, but the Shatter comes out, finds a Lucio, just delaying everybody as the freeze comes out. Gamer's Blood with the Dragon Blade, absolutely massive. The Dragon Blade so important over here. It's so crucial when the fight is so chaotic. So it's just Twinkie swinging away wildly on point. Reinhardt is back in Ikenwall, back at his home ground. You do not want to mess with him here. This is his castle, his territory. Now, Bees are coming in, touching the point as the D.Va, but D.Va's so good at getting out quick, but not really good at brawling, as they're not able to damage that cleave damage coming out from the Reinhardt. The charge comes out, doesn't find any? No, it doesn't. Out of Cryo Freeze, last round is hooked and demolished as well. Your favorite Chinese geologist absolutely destroyed in the backline. Now, we are in overtime, so this is a very healthy result for Rogue Knights over here, as Rincewash is able to do some work, do some damage, but not for Toaster, gets the kill there. Spitting to winning, Eldritch until able to last so long. Is the D.Va able to touch it? No, they are not. Basically throwing in overtime, managing to push this point to completion, as well as Rogue Knights, I believe, have secured themselves a map draw, hoping to turn this into a map win here on Ikenwall.
Initiating match.
I'm just getting a couple requests to go and play some placements right now. So now I know which one of my friends don't follow me on Twitter, because I definitely announced this cast tonight. Charles 7 Tang, by the way, my Twitter and Instagram. If I'm solo casting this, then I definitely get to plug my socials. On defense, we have Bubsud coming out with the Mei. The walls are going to be absolutely crucial, especially as they come to this car wash section of point A. Perfectly sized for a Mei wall. That's no coincidence, as Gamer's Blood is there to add to the I don't know if there's a chaos composition, maybe just that pain in the neck composition with the Mei Sombra over here. This is going to be a bit of a nuisance for Rogue Knights to deal with. But 4 minutes and 20 seconds here to get to a 1 tick. So really, if you're on the Rogue Knights, you're pretty comfortable, right? Go in aggressive, do some damage, get some ult charge, and then you charge a Graph Dragon for the dub. Gamer's Blood is taken down. That could be absolutely massive. The hack onto Eldritch was so perfectly timed, but maybe just a little bit over aggressive as they do eat an arrow to the face. And Rincewash switches over to the. I don't know if that's a switch actually. Maybe I just didn't notice. Apologies here. Last round already 60% to those dragons. The only answer to the Graph Dragons here may be a sound barrier, and even then, it's not a great answer. So, win condition very clearly on board here on the side of Rogue Knights. Eldritch here swinging forward very aggressively as the hack comes onto a Twinkie as well. Twinkie is taken down. You probably at this point don't even need those dragons or that grab. Last round gets a headshot onto Bubsa. Mutant Cypher and Later Time both going down as well, and it looks like it's curtains here at first time of Ask. Great work coming onto Rogue Knight, so decisive with that push, and you're choosing to say, you know what? We don't need to hold that for our game plan. We don't need to hold that for that win condition. All we have to do is be better and cleaner at the pathing. Little to no else involved here. I know the dragons did come out at the very end there, but really the bulk of the fighting was done by the pathing and the way that these teams played around each other and the team play that Rogue Knights are able to display. So 2-0 up as we head into this halftime. As Eldritch showing us once again how they won that fight 5v6 over here, and of course sporting the beautiful black and pink Florida Mayhem skin. Take me back to GTA Vice City, chat. Rocky Top, that's weird. I don't even have anything to say. Cleaner than cat's feet. That's something else. Charles 710, also my OnlyFans. Check me out. But no, that was an absolute clinic, I think, on the side of Rogue Knights on how to make that work. Right? You get the hack coming out onto, I believe Twinkie got hacked nice and early on by either Rincewash or Last Brown here, and they're forced to play a little slow, but then they do get the kill onto the Sombra, and then it's 5-on-5. They recognize that without the Sombra, a lot of that chaos is mitigated by basically throwing here, and they're able to push forward and get the dub. So coming up next, we got Hanamura here as Rogue Knights lead, basically throwing 2-0. We got Eldritch and Beezer sticking onto this tank line on the side of Rogue Knights. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. We got Nation, Most Wanted, and Chaotic Phoenix. Nation being subbed back in. I believe Chaotic Phoenix we haven't seen today so far. Hoping coming out on this match point and making it count. Yellow and Fat Cat are going to stay on the support lineup. Oh, sorry. Star is coming in. Kurioi Star is coming in to sub to give Yellow a break. And of course, on the side of basically throwing here, we got Toaster's still in, Twinkie's still in, so and then changed tank line. Clan Tag and Gamers coming in as well, as a Mutancy, Cypher, and a Lady of Siren still stick onto this support lineup. As if this lobby wasn't giving us enough headaches, the teams do have to switch sides as of league rules, and usually we then go in and just type in the new names, but the team names won't change. So ignore what you see. On the side, on our left side, the blue team will be Rogue Knights. On the right side, the red team will be basically throwing. But no worries, I have a notepad, so when in doubt, just DM me and I'll text you a picture of my notepad. I got you, chat. waiting for readies to come out on both sides as we have the subs ready to go. Once again, apologies for not able to get the names switched around, but my best to make sure we kept up to date. Anything standing out to us, chat? Any big plays? Obviously, chat reacted very positively to that Eldritch play of the game, just swinging away like a madman and making it work. We got readies coming out from both sides, and we now jump into Hanamura. Hanamura, of course, a very interesting map from a geography standpoint, as Point A has this low ground and all this high ground around it, and that's really where you, I mean, for lack of a better term, that's where you're going to die, right? Like, that's the kill box, right? You got high ground damage coming out from 360 degrees, and you just kind of, you choose to go around it. Maybe you choose to run really fast through it. But on the other hand, and then when it comes to point B, it's the same thing, right? It's still that high ground all around, but the difference being that the kill box is now the point as well. So it'll be very interesting to see how both these teams play around that.
Ready for battle.
So Rogue Knight's on the side of defense. Like I said, this is match point. Win this map and win this series. Eldritch and Beezer rolling out with the Ryan Zarya yet again, something they seem extremely comfortable with. As Chaotic Phoenix on that Junkrat Nation Most Wanted, committing to another spam meta over here. The Torb, of course, after being a meme hero for a little bit in the past couple seasons, has actually been incredibly dive resistant. So if you're going to run over a team, you're going to hope that they don't have a short Swedish man in the backline. Courier Star, welcome to the series, my friend. Running down Moira, showing us what they can do, and Fat Cat Sat is out with the Lucio, hoping that speed boosts the difference maker in this Brawl meta. Now Toaster sticking onto that Roadhog that they enjoy so much, as Clan Tag is ready to go with that Hanzo. So with the Tor, the Genji's really not able to do a lot of work. Gamer's Blood going down as Clan Tag going down as Gamer's Blood is forced to back up as well, as the Shimada brothers are having a pretty tough first push here. So the two Reinhardts are starting to make moves towards each other, but neither team really committing to pushing super aggressively past the choke. Clan Tag pops forward though. Takes a couple pot shots of the Hanzo, being forced down as the Rivet Gun from Nation Most Wanted is doing a little bit of damage there, a little bit of threatening. Once again, the Torb is no longer a meme. Gamer's Blood takes down the turret though. So the charge comes through as Twinkie ends up taking down Eldritch there, I believe, perfectly bubbled by Beezer. And once the charge came through, swings the hammer one time, gets the shield immediately back up. Doesn't end up taking too much damage, but gets the kill onto Twinkie. That's absolutely massive, as you can see. That itself, I think, is a big part of the reason as to why they have so much, the ult charge is so much more healthy there on the side of Eldritch. Chaotic Phoenix takes down Gamer's Blood as well. The tire committed on from Chaotic Phoenix jumps into the backline, doesn't work, takes down Mugency Cypher. So Eldritch over here is trying to take a very curious position here on the right side, behind the gate. Maybe looking for sneak shot, or maybe just, you know, playing some LOS there. Once again, both teams seemingly very happy to hold here, which makes sense if you're Rogue Knights, you're defending. This is exactly what you want. The Shadow does come out, though, just as I say that Clan Tag is, I believe, the only one caught in it, but that's all that it takes. But the beat comes out, the res comes out as well. They push forward aggressively, but Nation Most Wanted answers with the Molten Core. Now, I believe there's somebody on point here, as Courier Star takes down Lady of Siren in the backline as well, and it's just the Mercy flying away. That Valk not really getting too much value there as they look in danger of being taken down, and Eldritch does catch them with a stray hammer as Beezer takes down Toaster as well. Courier start taken down late in that fight. Clan Tag able to find an exit kill, and that could be the start of the snowball. But we saw both teams face up at the gate, get ready to go. And then all of a sudden, a bunch of ults are committed. Eldritch was just headed in the wrong direction, gets caught in the Dragon's Den, but Courier Star isn't quite back with their team and perfectly positioned here. So the grab comes up from Beezer, but the follow-up is not there. A little bit of a panic grab, and being totally honest. Nation Most Wanted taken down as well, as Swinky is starting to put in work on the point. Both teams sending up point, not really ready to engage, as they both wanted to play passive, both wanted to play in a reactive way to what was going to be thrown at them. Eldritch finally bites the bullet, goes in with the Shatter, taking down Clan Tag, and once that happens, Rogue Knights had that go button ready to go, but not knowing that not knowing that Siren had that sound barrier, so drops the beat, everybody stays alive. Nation answers with a Molten Core, but the aggression there is too much to deal with. Chaotic Phoenix here drops the tire into the backline, not finding anybody as Beezer takes that Lady of Siren. Gamer's Blood falls early as well. Rogue Knights here with Fat Cat committing the sound barrier just to be safe. I don't know if that was super necessary, but you don't want to take any risks. Clan Deck with just a measly like 5 HP. They're slowly getting sucked down, but Kuroi stars Moira here. Eventually the sloop ends up taking its toll as Hanzo goes down as well. How's your day, Charles? Oh, my day was great, Mom. I said sloop live on broadcast. Are you proud of me yet? Got Gamer's Blood coming out, ready to go with the Dragon Blade. Like I said last time, not quite an Anubis, but comboed with a Valkyrie could be very, very useful. Nobody sees the trap in the middle of the bridge over here, as Nation Most Wanted does end up losing the turret very early on yet again. So Clan Tag takes down Nation, Chaotic Phoenix takes down Clan Tag, though that's a trade coming out. Eldritch finds a Shatter onto that Reinhardt. The follow-up is there this time. Twinkie goes down. Clan Tag gets rezzed as well, though, so the fight is still alive. Chaotic Phoenix finds a double. The fight is no longer alive. I lied. Don't listen to me. Rogue Knights over here, once again, when the going gets tough, Rogue Knights comes out clutch, and they're able to make it work in their favor. A double coming out from Chaotic Phoenix with that tire ready to go yet again.
Oh, this'll be I cast this forth.
I foresee great things for you.
Lifting off.
So we got Clan Tag trying to do some spam damage off from the left side over here, but able to get too much work in here. So the tire does come out. Does it get destroyed? Does it get a kill? It doesn't. It gets 2 instead. That's the tank line absolutely deleted off the face of the map. Almost had to basically throw him, but Gamer's Blood finds a double though. That's the damage lineup down. So it's 4-on-4 fight over here as Fat Cat is fighting Clan Tag, trying their best to force them off that high ground, as both teams decide to reset around a minute, a little more than a minute, and counting here on the side of basically throwing as they try to make something work here in Hanamura. Ooh, that's an extremely deep Lucio. Lady of Siren going in very far forward and not dying, surprisingly. Gamer's Blood takes down Nation Most Wanted. That's a 6-on-5 fight. You have a man advantage. You want to go hard, right? No, because you have 2 Reinhardts. That's going to be absolutely massive. But the grab finds both Reinhardts, and the Shatter finds both Reinhardts. That's absolutely massive. Oh my goodness, absolutely mitigating the damage coming out from Gamer's Blood. Duplicate over here. Oh my word. Such good team play coming out from Rogue Knights. The big brain, the 8D chest to grab the 2 Reinhardts, absolutely nullifying anything Gamer's Blood can do. Now Twinkie goes down as well. 30 seconds and counting. If you're still fighting on this point, you better jump off, get a quick reset, because it is just one fight territory here. On the bright side, here on the side of basically throwing, they do have 2 ultimates online, 2 extremely decisive ultimates, 2 team fight and map winning ultimates online. The grab and the Shatter can be so crucial, and Fat Cat, you know, can only block 1 with the sound barrier if they're timed properly. Oh my goodness, used extremely early as Eldritch finds Clan Tag. So that's an early 6-on-5 advantage, but then that's an ult advantage as well. The grab comes out, doesn't find anybody, finds 3, but Chaotic Phoenix finds a kill as well. The grab comes out, the follow-up just isn't there. Twinkie goes down holding that Shatter, and that's definitely gotta hurt. Especially given that Mugen Cypher used the res onto Gamer's Blood and not Twinkie, that's gotta hurt. Courier Star takes that Gamer's Blood as Beezer wipes the remainder of basically throwing off the map. Rogue Knights here unable to capture any ticks here. Or sorry, basically unable to capture any ticks here as Rogue Knights with a great hold on point B. So if you're on the side of Rogue Knights, you know your win condition, right? Go forward, push hard, capture that point A and capture a single tick and secure the series. Of course, here in the Overwatch Oasis, we do play out a map 4 in case of a 3-0 just for map differential. I know it does seem a little bit silly, but as we can tell from the tier 2 and tier 3 tables. That's actually incredibly necessary when it comes to breaking the tie, as so many of these teams have identical match records and are just down to the maps to make the difference. So here we have Twinkie going back onto their recess, something that we have seen from them today on Nepal and Ikenwald. Toaster going onto that comfort pick after that Roadhog. I mean, once again, I'm not super good at Overwatch, but a lot of times when your backs are up against the wall, as they definitely are for basically throwing here, you go to your comfort picks, you go to what you know best, and Toaster definitely seems extremely comfortable on that Roadhog. You do get trapped early on in the choke though, but good thing is your Zarya caught, so Bees are probably looking pretty healthy with that Zarya damage already. Looks like we got Gamer's Blood taking a cheeky little flank here. Already 80%, but does get eventually spotted by that scout arrow. A Junkrat on Hanzo duel happening in the backline, and there's only one winner. Chaotic Phoenix manages to find a headshot Storm Arrow onto your favorite Australian terrorist. Eldritch gets hooked in though. That looks very, very dangerous as Fat Cat ends up going down. Probably a sign of a reset coming out from Rogue Knights here. As Clan Tactics, the Chaotic Phoenix Courier Star goes down as well. Ooh, Emergency Cypher gets that res denied by Nation wants it coming out with a lot of damage. Beezer jumps onto the point just to get that gold medal in objective time, as Rogue Knights are forced to back up and retreat. Gamer's Blood already with a tire almost ready to go. Clan Tag as well. The Molten Core is such an important ultimate on a point like this where the choke is very narrow and the point is very small. On the attacking side, Courier Star only having the Coalescence. That's committed early, so Rogue Knights are committing ultimates to that push. Gamer's Blood dives into the backline and rips out that tire. Doesn't find anybody, not quite yet, as Beezer takes down Twinkie. Chaotic Phoenix takes down the Gamer's Blood as well. Beezer takes down Lady of Siren as the Molten Core isn't having the desired effect. Eventually finds the Fat Cats as Toaster finds Chaotic Phoenix, but Toaster and Emergency Cypher both go down, and those losses it's probably going to be too much here, especially given that you lost a lot of that team early on. Just the Torb turret online here, on point here, sorry, as Nation Most Wanted whacked Clan Tech off the point, as Rogue Knights do manage to take this point with 2 minutes on the clock. That's almost 5 minutes for this push, chat. Yes, 5 minutes is a lot, but it is the hold here. I would like to venture it's not unspeakable, although it is one tick, so I could be wrong. But in order to catch you have to win your fight so cleanly here on 2 CP maps. As Gamer's Blood takes on Courier Star, just burning a 30 seconds off the clock here with that kill. Just a little bit of peace and quiet here on the wonderful gardens of Hanamura as Rogue Knights just slows down just to make sure that Mora rejoins them. Your favorite Irish witch doctor doing their best to Naruto run back to their team. Bees taking a very aggressive position here just to try to force Gamer's Blood back, but Toaster answering with a whole hog. But Chaotic Phoenix takes down Lady of Siren, so maybe Rogue Knights does commit to this fight. Not quite sure, as Mutancy reses Lady of Siren. Yeah, Rogue Knights well and truly have to reset yet again.
This will restore you.
Rogue Knights here seemingly content to just go for a couple soft pushes. Yeah, you lose a couple members in the way, but you're baiting out some very important ultimates over here. The Shatter ready to go could be so deadly when comboed with that Earth Shatter. The Earth Shatter, there it is. Nation doesn't commit the Earth Shatter, just maybe wanted to bait out that sound barrier, and it does work. The sound barrier is committed. The pin comes out, finds Lady of Siren. Eldritch and Bees are both going down as Fat Cat is killed as well. That push maybe not going to the plans of Rogue Knights here, as I think a big issue here so far is that because they're taking these short fights, because they're taking these poke fights that aren't very long, Beezer's not really able to get too much work done with the Zarya, because once again the Zarya is kind of useless at the beginning of fights, right? The Zarya is only useful once you get above 50% charge. But by then the team fights are over and you're forced to back up, and that's I think very evident in how much of the grab that they're able to charge. So the dragons are come out just to force a little bit of pathing. Lady of Siren gets taken down eventually. Clan Tag takes down Eldritch though with that molten core. You would think with this much time on the bank, maybe you wait for that the grab dragons, but Chaotic Phoenix choosing to use that nice and early on here as Rogue Knights try to go for another eco push, and I'm not quite sure what the logic is behind going an eco push, but they still have almost 2 minutes on the clock though, so not a time to count them out just yet. I'm not quite sure what happened there, as Nation's Most Wanted was just kind of standing still, allowing Clan Tag to get a bunch of headshots off of that Rivet Gun. Uncharacteristically sloppy here from the Rogue Knights, as they once again, for like the third or fourth time at this point, are forced to just chill and relax and just hide behind cover as the respawns come through and their regroup is able to be executed.
I cast this forward. Barriers on me.
Eldritch here already on their way to a next Earth Shatter though. So the tire comes through. Doesn't find anybody, not quite, as Beezer is hooked and trapped. Kurioi Star gets the kill onto Gamer's Blood, as the Death Blossom is smashed only by the whole Hawk. Chaotic Phoenix getting kills though. This might just work. The grab comes up compared to the Koalas. It's so deadly. The Dragon's there, just a little bit of overkill, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now, Lady of Siren gets taken down as well. That's a very, very clean fight coming out. Just the Junkrat ready to touch. Oh my goodness, just a little bit late, but eventually gets killed as well as basically throwing sorry, wow, I'm reading here. No. Rogue Knights secures the map, secures the series 3-0, but stick around because once again we do play out map 4s here in the Overwatch Oasis League. I will say it looked a little hairy there as Rogue Knights were pushing in, using 1 or 2 ults at a time rather than take advantage of their time bank and using all 6 at once, but eventually the grab I think was absolutely massive coming out from, I believe it was Toaster playing the Zarya, and that was huge. The grab onto the Reinhardt, and I believe the Lucio was caught on that as well. And once you get 2 picks, it's lights out. It's pretty standard here. So moving on to Dorado, once again, it's not just a friendly here. The game might be decided, but definitely still some things to play for, specifically the map record. Scrungus are going to come in now. I don't think we've seen them today yet. Scrungus, a lower SR than the rest of the team, but eager to come in and prove their worth here, because like any Overwatch player has ever said, Elo Hell is definitely real. So Eldritch is going to stay here. Scrungus comes in. Jobin coming in, I believe, for the first time today as well, partnering Chaotic Phoenix. Yellow moving over to the support line. Okay, I like this. As a Kurioi Star is going to be tasked with healing everybody up. Just give us a second, just working out some subs. I believe um, a sub came in for someone who is not in the lobby, so let's just get that figured out real quick. Unfortunately, I need to look at match chat, and I'm too dumb to read and talk at the same time, so I'm gonna do my best to juggle the two. Yeah, so we got Last Brown about to come in here. Uh, I believe onto the damage lineup to partner Chaotic Phoenix Nation, taking a very well-deserved break. So Rogue Knight's win over here puts them 6-1 so far this season, an absolutely fantastic record, I think. Um, Interesting to see. All three tiers in the Overwatch Oasis League have a very clear front runner. Blank Assassins are running the league over here in Tier 1. And like we just mentioned, we have Rogue Knights here. So, yeah, Rogue Knights here 6-1 now this season, and I believe White Walkers in Tier 3 are 6-0. So interesting to see these trends play out. I don't know what the common thread is. That's up to you, chat. But another team unable to topple Rogue Knights. Just waiting for Reddies to come out. Even in custom games, the chat bug is real. We're moving on to Dorado next. Dorado, a really interesting map for the Widow to take advantage of a lot of times. Not it's controversial whether or not pirate ship is a good idea here. But we see that run from time to time as well. And you know, as far as I think both basically throwing and Rogue Knights are concerned, like listen, yeah, we understand this goes towards a map record, but if the match is already decided, why not take this as an opportunity to try something in a very high performing and high pressure setting compared to a scrim. So it'll be interesting to see them play that out. So we got readies coming out onto both sides as we head to Dorado. I think that Dorado has some of the most fun intro music in the entire game. It's just so every time you load in, you're just ready to go, and then you realize that the end of Map A is an absolute clown festival of who's who of flankers and sightlines. So that good music picks you up just to drop you down and shatter your dreams.
Ready for battle. Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
So on the side of basically throwing Ishimonks coming out to partner Twinkie this time. A trusty notepad not updated. I believe Ishimonks is a very reliable off tank here on the, especially on the attack running that Ryan Zarya. Going to be really exciting to see them play that out. But a little bit of a curious, very exciting tactic coming out actually from basically throwing as they take this. On the side of Rogue Knights as they decide to spawn camp the enemy. Yes, you love to see it. My team never commits to this, but the spawn camp here is so exciting because, yeah, you eventually lose this fight, but you know, you get to contest right at the end at fountains, and then you have ult advantage by then. Last round over here, ready to wall people off as the Ryan and the Genji eventually making their way over. But the aggression here is not going to be committed to as Rogue Knight starts to take a back seat and back up. Eldritch pins in that wall perfectly placed up, enable that, but a huge Bionate coming out from Lady of Siren, but unable to capitalize that making it work. It's basically throwing a forced retreat yet again as Rogue Knights gets to keep touching that spawn door like everybody hopes to in the league game. Ooh, Mutancy Cypher gets killed and frozen right before they're able to get out as well. That one's gotta hurt. You lose your Lucio. Eldritch charging forward into the spawn door has gotta be massive. But Bubson maybe giving that opening that basically throwing have needed all map so far. Getting a kill onto that Moira. But no worries, just a little bit of progress being made on the card there, 28 meters and counting. The wall coming out, not isolating anybody, but just to buy themselves a little bit more time. But look at Rogue Knights and the amount of ultimates that they have in the back. This is going to be absolutely massive. The Shatter comes out as the Blizzard is committed as well. The two ults are enough to win this fight very cleanly as Chaotic Phoenix takes advantage of Ishimonks' positioning here and takes them down as well. Last round finding an exit kill onto Lady of Siren. That's fantastic work. Rogue Knights plus press and go. The ults coming out as a combo in perfect unison. You love to see it. Twinkie and Ishimonks here though with the tank ultimates online. 6 ults here online for basically throwing, for Rogue Knights as basically throwing as they're hoping to get some work done here. Now the Shatter comes out, finds a triple, that's absolutely massive, but the beat is there, Yellow is there with that sound barrier. Twinkie is taken down and able to take advantage and capitalize on that wonderful Earth Shatter. But at this point, you just burn more ults, right? At this point, you just use all of your ults to win. I think the Twinkie now switching off. Ishimonks going, staying onto that Zarya. The Zarya Roadhog is one of the more unorthodox compositions we've seen. So the grab does come out, doesn't find anybody. The Dragon Blade is there, could be absolutely massive. The Chaotic Phoenix counters with an absolute triple of a Death Blossom. Deletes Gamer's Blood before they're able to find any value with that Dragon Blade. This is massive. Oh my goodness. That's ridiculous over here. As Rogue Knights are able to hold them at the spawn door yet again. So Bob is committed here as Bubsud's Bob is able to get a pretty solid sightline, pushing the whole team back. But 180 Shatter coming out, not really paying off as the Blizzard comes up from the last round as well. Bubsud takes that Courier Stars. Chaotic Phoenix finds the trade onto Twinkie. Bubsud a triple kill though. This could be the opening that basically Throwing finally need to push this point forward. Scrungus over here demaxed by Gamer's Blood as well, but we are going to overtime as we come onto the end of point A. Even before we're able to move into streets, the Coalescence is committed by Courier Star, so they clearly believe in their ability to keep this point up and alive. Gamers will find a double kill in the backline, though Scrungus and that May of the last round going down as well. Chaotic Phoenix finding a kill into Gamer's Blood. So the point is well and truly alive. Yellow commits the sound barrier. This could be absolutely massive as the Death Blossom comes onto the backline, doesn't quite find anybody as Courier Star, Yellow, and Chaotic Phoenix finding one apiece. This could be it, just the Tracer left on point. But the Moira and the Reaper both there. Ishimonks charges on, the Reinhardt able to touch, but not very durable as they're completely surrounded by enemies. Round 1 is complete. Rogue Knight's able to hold point A here, and if not for a couple very, very good kills coming out from basically Throwing, they might have been able to hold right at the spawn door. That's ridiculous. That's wonderful defense coming out, and I mean, I'll call it like it is. Basically, Throwing looked boomed. At one point, they had 6 ults online, and they swapped off over to the Ana, so they gave up one of the ults, and then you use the Earth Shatter, you get a triple with the Earth Shatter, you get 3 down, and then you're able to get any kills out of it, and you get your own Reinhardt killed, and you don't use the grab to follow through on it, and then you switch onto a Roadhog Zarya that I really didn't see any synergy with. They look boomed. I'm sorry to say that. They look absolutely boomed. I don't know if they're still talking to each other. I hope that there's no tilting happening and maybe that was just a wacky composition that they wanted to try. On the defense though, a little more conventional coming out, the Reinhardt Sigma composition. So we got here on the defense, basically choosing to take a defensive position here. Last round taken down very, very early, so this is not a terrible start as Gamer's Blood is able to do so much damage on that hit scan of the soldier. Gamer's Blood take the Eldritch as well, and could be a reset over here as it is so hard to assault this high ground without the ball. Eventually, they do end up dropping though, as Twinkie here is forced to add into that car wash, but Ishimonks is right there by their main tank, keeping them alive. Slamming in here, doing a lot of damage here, but Twinkie eventually ends up taking that Yellow as well. So it's not a bad defense at all coming down for basically Throwing. Scrungus here frozen as well, but that D.Va able to get it alive with that Mercy Pocket. Last round over here, taking a duel with that Echo. That Echo eventually forced to drop back into that high ground. Phoenix barely able to get with their life. Scrungus over here in that backline, nobody really noticing that, but a very, very deep charge comes through. Scrungus does escape with their life though, as Twinkie tries to deliver their team a healthy snack in the form of a D.Va mech. Now, Justice range from just about sea level as last round takes the Lady of Siren and Scrungus takes down the Reinhardt over here as Twinkie gets taken down. The slam comes out. That's a lovely flux coming out onto the backline. Is anybody able to touch? No, they are not. And it is a very, very dominant win here on the side of Rogue Knights, I believe, as they clean up and make it work.
Play of the game.
So, chat, I would love your input on MVPs for tonight because I know that they got 4-0'd, but I think basically Throwing had some pretty solid performances here from their tank line. As far as damage dealers go, it's hard to look past Chaotic Phoenix and Nation's Most Wanted performances here on the damage line, so consistently able to get the kills. I think for me, Chaotic Phoenix, I think just edges it out. I believe they played more maps, and I just believe the consistency of which they're able to get the job done really impressed me there. And on the side of the support line there, I think it's hard to look past. I know Courier Star and Yellow are both great, but Fat Cat, I believe, were in a majority of the series, all three, the first three maps, playing all three of the first maps, and I think that it's hard to look past Fat Cat and the impact that they had there on the team. So chat, your MVPs for tonight are Twinkie, Chaotic Phoenix, and Fat Cat. Congratulations to Rogue Knight as they make it 6-1 here in the Overwatch Oasis League. My name is Charles Tang. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.